I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, this all sounds so compelling. I think I need to be a part of this. So I'm walking down the street and I'm thinking to myself, all right, Hamza, you're a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? Think banker, walk street, little bit of showboating and grandstanding. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad looking cat. I'm alright. You know what I mean? Love the ladies, love my drinking, love having fun. This whole Islam thing, quite foreign to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in a Christian background, but I wasn't really religious myself. So I'm thinking to myself, Hamza, you have now just become a Muslim tonight. Is this really where you want to go? I mean, this whole thing is full of rules and regulation. These people get up in the middle of the night for prayers, and then they do it 4 times at other parts of the day. It sounds like a lot of hand holding and a lot of laws. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm not really sure if I did the right thing here. So as I'm walking down the street, I'm comparing it to all of the beautiful things that I read about Islam, about the life of the Prophet Muhammad. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, this all sounds so compelling. I think I need to be a part of this. On the one hand, on the other hand, I mean, what if this stuff is just true? What if this is just like one of the many isms that people get themselves into because of boredom or whatever else they're going through? So right at that moment, I thought to myself, you know what? I looked up at the stars and I said, oh God, if this man is true, please help me understand it, but don't let me be a hypocrite. And I thought to myself, hopefully maybe I just need to read more, just investigate. So I went home. It was late. It was the middle of the night. I thought to myself, you know what? Let me at least take a step. I'll go ahead and try to get up for that early morning prayer. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like I said to y'all before, we come home at 4 or 5, but we ain't getting up at no 4 or 5 unless you got to go to the bathroom or something. But anyway, so I stretch out on the couch and I thought to myself, all right, I'll try to get up for that early morning prayer. So I lay out, and before I know it, man, I hear the sound like the sound of a plane when it flies too low, combined with like a train. It was like this roaring sound, but it's a voice. And the voice said, number 1, preach. There is none worthy of worship save Allah. Number 2, preach. There is none worthy of worship save Allah. And it just kept repeating like vibrations in a tuning fork. That's the best way I can explain it. It was like I became a tuning fork and someone knocked me on the edge of a table and I just sat there vibrating. Man, I was so taken out. I was so emotionally shaken. I got up, I'm crying, my nose is running, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what has just happened to me? I called up a friend of mine and he's like, don't worry, this happens to people all the time. And then it wasn't until much later, I continued to study, etc. And then I began to realize there are Ahmadi Muslims all over the world that have experiences just like this and even greater experiences. And that's when I realized that verse of the Holy Qur'an, where God himself says, Udu'uni astajib lakum. Pray unto me, I will answer your prayer. You see, for me, this is the reason why I couldn't be anything other than a Muslim. Not because there's a distance between God and man, but because Islam closes that gap. And in fact, true Islam, Ahmadiyya, reunites human beings because it possesses the correct understanding of the guidance given by God to man, so that man has that relationship with God. Now, anybody can see it any way they want to see it. I agree. Perhaps it's all subjective, but I can tell you one thing. For me, and for the millions of stories that I hear from Ahmadis all over the world, I couldn't be anything else. These are the signs of the living God. Udu'uni astajib lakum. Pray unto me, I will answer your prayer.